Hello everyone, my name is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about 5 ways to stop those energy leaks and drains to increase your life force energy. So your energy is precious, and we all want more energy, right? More prana, more chi, more vitality to have in our daily lives and to live our purpose, to do the things that we need to do. And in healing and spirituality, one of the key essential things, you can't do anything without the energy. So one of the main ways to make sure we have energy is to stop those leaks and drains. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell button so you get notified every time I do new videos. And if you're liking it, hit that like button. So this is the thing. I actually have more deep, robust life force and energy than I did in my 20s, than I did when I was young. And that's because of these different things that I'm about to share. And the first place that I kind of want to begin, which might be a little controversial, is when I was looking at the different searches on this topic, it talked a lot about energy vampires. And I was thinking about it, and what I truly realized is that we're one of the biggest energy vampires to ourselves. It's a really humbling realization, and it's nice and easy to, go and put it on someone else or something else. But truly taking responsibility for our own energy is the first way to stop a leak and to go forward. So the official first way to stop these leaks and seal it up is to create very healthy boundaries. So one of the ways that our energy is able to just all over the place is because maybe you're an overgiver and you give a lot of energy and you let your cup become empty because you're giving so much. And that is your own boundary with yourself. We have to have boundaries with ourselves to, again, bring in that self-value, that self-appreciation back to ourselves. And then there's the other piece of having boundaries with people, with things, with situations, with jobs that are also draining. So we need to have boundaries with people that don't have boundaries. This happens all the time where people are like, you're willing to give more? Okay, great, I'll take more. And so one of the ways to create these boundaries is to start really valuing yourself and going into that self-love practice. And then how to engage with other people's energy and your energy is to really key into reciprocity, that you're giving an equal share to what you're receiving from another person. And that's a key indicator. If you're like, am I giving too much? Are they taking too much? You can be like, is this an equal exchange? It might not seem one-to-one, but is there equal value being shared? But really honing in on your own boundaries is up to you. And I have videos about that, so you can go check them out. But one of the things that I have for you is a soul embodiment meditation, a free one down below. And why this is really important is to key back into our own soul empowerment, our value as a human, what we came here to do, and tuning into that preciousness that we are is really helpful in then preserving our energy and not doing this leaky stuff. So be sure to go get that free MP3 down below. Moving into number 2 now. And this one's really interesting. Okay, I learned this from the Toltecs. I did a whole year in their healing school. And one of the key principles of having enough life force energy was not just building the life force energy, but was stopping these leaks like we're talking about. And what they talked about, the number one leak for them is shadow pleasures, what they called shadow pleasures. And what this could look like are those naughty things that we know we're not supposed to be doing, but they're almost unconscious, habitual, addictive, the scrolling, the Netflix binging, the actual addictions to different substances, to drama, to negative mind loops, these kinds of things, those shadow pleasures that we actually get something out of, but it's almost like a contorted energy that we get out of it. And actually, when we go into this, we go into an unconscious space and it drains our energy. And then other outside forces can actually pull and drain our energy more. So it's going into these unconscious patterns. Not good at all. You know it, I know it. And so it's really attaching these certain pleasures and really working diligently to stop them, having accountability partners, doing the deeper inner work as to like why you're using really these coping mechanisms, because they're the biggest drain. They're the biggest drain to the Toltecs. And one of the things that they utilized in the Toltec method to increase the life force energy was drawing upon the energies of the ethers, and particularly one of them being the moon. And so I did a whole course around this to increase your vitality by utilizing the energy of all the different phases of the moon. So if you're wanting to do this as you release the shadow pleasures and then increase more energy, be sure to go get that down below. Okay, moving into number 3. This is what I like to call open loops. This is so important. This is so critical because we all walk around in our lives and we have all these unfinished things. We could even call it unfinished business. And when those things are unfinished, if you think of, say, a TV show that keeps an open loop, it literally keeps you salivating at the mouth, thinking, open to whatever that next thing is or whatever was unfinished. It keeps your attention and it keeps your energy oriented towards that thing. So we all have those things. So what are the open loops for you? This could be a project you started and you were really excited about it. You got it pretty far, but you didn't complete it or finish it. Or a relationship that actually you wanted to pursue. Maybe with a friend, with a new friend, or with a romantic partner, but you never took it all the way. So you're like thinking, what could be there? What could happen? Or the other way around where you're like, I know it's time to end that relationship and that friendship, that dynamic. We need to end that, and you're putting it off. So this kind of, you can check in around procrastination. Like, what are you procrastinating on completing? And this is so helpful and so necessary because I learned in my early 20s from a boss of mine. I only had like 2 bosses in my whole life, and they were both really cool. And so one of them, I learned that there's this little framework that you begin something, you work on that thing, and then you complete it. So it's this triangle. And if you stop the completion part and you start, and then you kind of stop. You start, you go a little bit, and you stop. You stop wanting to even start things, and then everything runs amok. So what are those open loops in your life that you can tidy and close? And this might just be things that you need to do. Like, oh, I really do need to go get my car fixed, or I really do need to address this financial thing that I've been putting off. Those things will tidy up your energy and focus so much and make you feel so much more calm and better. So the last 2 things, and then I have a bonus for you, a bonus that you won't expect. And so be sure to keep watching all the way to the end. So number 4 is trauma. Trauma is an energy leak. Why? These are parts of ourselves that are frozen, numbed out, hidden away. So it's literal, latent life force energy. Some of the life force and our soul aspects get pushed out of the body and aren't even here. So we don't have that full vitality in our body, or it's shut down and frozen. So there's literal parts of ourselves that are offline and not operational. And this does a lot of different things, including the availability for the vampires, for the energies to be drained. Because if you're not home, then robbers can get in there and like loosh and take. But if you're embodied in your home and the lights are all on, it's not possible. And what happens also with trauma, with these wounded parts of us that have been through so much, is they often create these crazy defenses and like castles, that are armed. It's like, don't get near, And in this armory, in this defense, when something's like that, things can't get through. Energy can't flow. And if energy can't flow, then it can leak or drain or become distorted and then go into the shadow pleasures. You see how this works. So it's really important to work on our traumas, our wounds from childhood, from all the different things, and find support, find certain systems or courses or people that can assist you in that. It's essential. We all need it. It's our also responsibility in this time of awakening, in this time of being more free in the West to do this work. So working on the trauma, really essential, will help seal those energy leaks. All of these things, again, that I have listed, I have worked on diligently over the past 10 years, and I have so much more energy because of it. And one of the things that it does is it just makes you your true self, and then you get really awesome and bold and straightforward, and then you just like get things right as they're coming up, and then there's no leaks, things don't linger, triggers don't happen. It's just really good. Okay, number 5, which is kind of the most obvious, so that's why I left it to the end, which is mental and emotional overload. So much energy is drained from the mind. Even the amount of caloric intake it requires to process in the mind is a lot. So you can see that it literally takes a lot of calories and outside fuel to fuel the mind. So imagine how much it's doing to take that life force chi that you already naturally would have had. And so what I see a lot in this category with the mind is this overload emotionally, this overload of too much information, too much ingesting. So I had to stop this because I love information. I love learning. I love all the things. But I realized as I was like taking in so much stuff and like so much media specifically, and even content, that I hadn't processed what I had just heard before I'm ingesting another thing. And that just keeps on going. And then at the end of the day, you're already full, and it's hard to then digest and relax and go to sleep and let all of that go. So the body can't really get into those deeper states of relaxation, the consciousness to really rebuild and renew, because you're in a constant processing of, and also a lot of it's emotional drama stuff that we see in the world, or dysregulated nervous systems, and that's a lot to process as well. So it's too much. So really regulating how much you're intaking, how much you're mentally processing, and completing thoughts. We're in a culture of crazy ADHD addicts of what we're generating by how much we're intaking. So completing your thoughts, completing the things you need to do. And if you can't keep it all in your head, which I can't, most of us can't, you need to write it down. Because that organizes the thoughts. It brings things to resolution and solution and completion, so that it can rest, so that your mind can rest, your body can rest, and then it doesn't leak and take excess energy. So the last 2 bonus ones, which I think are very vital. I mean, I could have actually come up with a list of like 20 different things, but we're trying to keep it simple. And I wanted to keep it at the most essential things to focus on, right? Because that's the whole point, is if there's too many things, it becomes overwhelming. Oh no, then this becomes an energy leak and drain. So the most essential bonus ones are social media. Social media is, I mean, I kind of was talking about this in the overload, but really, like scrolling, and it's taking a lot more than it's giving. And it feels like you're getting something, but really you're not in so many ways. And I've talked about this a lot. You guys get it. I don't need to harp on it, but social media is a major drain. So really regulating your time on that is super essential. What I do, I'm not on Instagram anymore, or social media, actually. That's how far I've taken it. Obviously, I'm on YouTube, and I like to be abreast of things and learn about different things. So I just mostly stay on YouTube and podcast. But before I get on there, before I get on the computer, before I used to get on social media, I have a clear objective and clear intention. And it's not just to zone out or to get that pleasure dopamine experience or something. It's, okay, I have a mission to message this person. I have a mission to post this content. I have a mission to just get on here for 5 minutes, and you set a timer, and then when it goes off, you get off. So you get really clear as you're going in, and then you don't get trapped along the pathways of the mind loop of that. So the other bonus one, which is new, and I'm going to be talking about it more, is leaky sexual energy lusty, leaky sexual energy. So this has actually become a commodity in our world. It's been a commodity for quite a while, but it's an actual energy that floats around, especially social media, where, oh, you put a little cleavage, you do these positions, the more naked you are, the more this you are, the more likes you get. And so you're getting energy back in the form of likes, but that's not actual value, really. Even in the form of money, you're giving a lot more than you're getting. And so this leakiness that's really prevalent, really normalized in our world, walking down the street in especially like cool areas and everyone's just kind of like lusty with each other, that is leaking a lot of energy to receive lust, to give lust. The leakiness, it seems like you're getting something from it because there's attention. With women, it's the male gaze. With men, it's like this kind of instant semi-arousal. But in reality, it's not doing anything for us because our sexual energy is one of our primary, most precious pieces of life force energy to create, for creatorship. I need to do a whole video on this. So it's really important to just be watchful of that and how you're using that and keeping that energy for yourself and then a chosen person that you choose to give it with that will reciprocate in kind and add to that love, connection, intimacy, all these great things that you can co-create together. So that's a really prime one as well. So there you have it. There are a lot of different pieces in there, and I want to stay clean and clear on what you want to integrate and take back with you. So I'm all about the action steps and the integration, so I don't want this to just be another ingest of information. So I really recommend pausing this and turning it off, not going on to something else, and thinking about this and thinking about what instantly came up. There was probably one or two things where like, oh yeah, that thing. What were those couple things? Write them down or message it to yourself or message it to a friend for accountability and take an action step of sealing that leak. Now, if you want to go one step farther, I recommend, say, sitting down with a pen and paper, rewatching and writing the things out and taking a whole moment in time to work at these things and just one at a time, bit by bit, not too much, not too little, just bit by bit. So those are my recommendations. And if you're wanting to start to really cultivate the energy and take that time and space for yourself to come back into that precious valuation of your energy, of your soul, of your aura, I have an amazing course called Chakra Awakening down below, and it's dedicated to a lot of the ways that we were meant to be able to receive life force energy from the earth, from the cosmos, from our own bodies that didn't even get developed. So it really helps us extend and develop our etheric body, our chakra system, and really expand out and become present with all of these different energy centers. So then we can receive more and pull in and retrieve more life force energy. So if you're wanting to raise your vibration, be sure to go get that down below. So thanks so much for watching. This was a fun one to do. It's a great take on the opposite end of like raising your vibration, and essential because we need to stop and seal those leaks. So comment below, let me know what you're going to do, what your takeaway is. And again, be sure to like this video, subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified every time I do new videos, and I will see you next time.